Hi, you can't even imagine how many mysterious and unusual cities and buildings are hidden around the world. Today, we will visit places that are far from accessible to everyone, yet they hold incredible stories. Abandoned cities, houses built into cliffs, and strange structures that defy logic. These enigmatic corners of our planet will surely make you think. So, get comfortable. Ahead of you are the most incredible and mystical places on Earth. Let's begin. In 1969, during the Cold War, Chinese authorities began constructing the underground city of Dixiacheng. This massive bunker stretched for hundreds of kilometers beneath Beijing and was designed to shelter millions in case of a nuclear attack. It featured schools, hospitals, cinemas, and even factories. Fortunately, it was never used for its intended purpose. In the 2000s, parts of the complex were open to tourists, but later closed again, leaving the tunnel's fate shrouded in mystery. Rumors persist that parts of the underground complex are still in use, and that its true size remains unknown. Beneath the historic center of Plzen lies an extensive labyrinth of catacombs, first established in the 13th century. These tunnels were used to store food, water, and beer, and during wartime, they provided shelter for the townspeople. The total length of the underground passages exceeds 20 kilometers. Medieval wells, secret rooms, and ancient artifacts discovered during excavations have been preserved here. The catacombs are entwined with ghost legends, and some corridors remain unexplored. Today, part of the underground network is open to tourists, offering a glimpse into the hidden history of Plzen. The Earthscraper is an ambitious underground skyscraper project in Mexico City that was never realized. According to the plan, the building was supposed to descend 65 stories underground, housing residential areas, offices, shopping centers, and even a museum. The idea arose from the lack of space in the city and the prohibition of constructing super tall buildings in the historic center. However, the complexity of implementation and enormous cost made the project impossible. Today, the Earthscraper remains a futuristic dream that could have revolutionized the concept of future cities. Deep beneath the hills of Wiltshire lies one of the most secret underground cities in the UK, Burlington. Built in the 1950s as a precaution against nuclear war, it was intended to shelter the government and 4,000 select individuals. The city included living quarters, hospitals, power stations, and even an underground railway. Burlington remained classified until 2004, when authorities officially acknowledged its existence. Despite being abandoned, the tunnels still contain telephone lines and remnants of equipment. What lies behind Burlington's closed doors today remains a mystery. Beneath the historic streets of Edinburgh lies a truly eerie place, built in the 17th century. Initially, the vaults served as storage spaces and workshops, but later became a refuge for the poor, criminals, and even plague victims. In the dark, damp tunnels, devoid of sunlight, unsanitary conditions prevailed, quickly giving the area a sinister reputation. According to legends, ghosts of former inhabitants still roam the vaults. Today, part of the underground is open to visitors, with many tourists reporting strange sounds, sudden chills, and the sensation of an unseen presence. Subtropolis is a true underground business city located beneath Kansas City. Created in former limestone mines, it spans over 5 million square meters, making it the world's largest underground industrial complex. With a stable temperature of around 21 degrees Celsius, it serves as storage for archives, goods, and even rare film reels. Hundreds of companies operate in the tunnel labyrinths, and some offices and warehouses resemble fully functional buildings, just without windows. Despite lacking residential housing, Subtropolis exemplifies how underground space can be effectively utilized in modern business. This Spanish town seems to have grown into the rock. Its houses are literally built into massive overhanging stone formations. Seteno de las Bodegas dates back to the Moorish era when people began using natural caves as shelter from the heat and enemies. Despite its unusual architecture, the town features modern shops, cafes, and charming streets that appear as if nature and humanity have merged into one. The rock roofs provide excellent protection from the scorching sun, creating a natural cooling effect. Today, the town is one of Andalusia's most picturesque and unique attractions. Wieliczka is one of the oldest salt mines in the world, located near Krakow. Salt extraction began here as early as the 13th century, and over time, a true underground city emerged with chapels, sculptures, and vast halls carved directly into salt deposits. The main attraction is the underground chapel of St. Kinga, adorned with magnificent chandeliers made entirely of pure salt. The mine stretches for 300 kilometers, though only a small portion is open to tourists. Wieliczka is a UNESCO World Heritage Site and is considered one of Europe's most astonishing underground complexes. In central Turkey, near Mudurnu, stands the peculiar town of Burj Al Babas, a complex of hundreds of identical castle-like villas modeled after French chateaux. Built in 2014 for wealthy buyers, the project collapsed due to an economic crisis. Today, the town resembles a fairy tale kingdom without inhabitants, with rows of empty, unfinished castles standing abandoned. It's one of the most unusual, modern ghost towns that never came to life. This abandoned city is unique because it wasn't built by modern people, but by the ancient ancestral Puebloans, Anasazi, who disappeared even before the arrival of Europeans. Located on the slopes of Colorado's canyons, Mesa Verde is a complex of cave dwellings carved directly into the cliffs. Some buildings contain over 150 rooms and were multi-story, making them among the most complex structures of their time. The inhabitants used wooden ladders and hidden paths to move between levels and protect themselves from enemies. Why the city was abandoned remains a mystery. One theory suggests the inhabitants faced drought and resource shortages, while another points to conflicts with neighboring tribes. By the 14th century, the people had completely left, leaving behind well-preserved structures. Today, Mesa Verde is a national park and UNESCO World Heritage Site, attracting archaeologists and tourists from around the world, eager to connect with the secrets of this ancient civilization. Paris is known for its elegance, but beneath its streets lies a dark world, a vast labyrinth of catacombs. In the late 18th century, the city faced the problem of overcrowded cemeteries, prompting the authorities to take a radical step, transferring the remains of millions into the abandoned quarries beneath Paris. The entrance to the catacombs is about 20 meters deep, and the tunnels stretch over 300 kilometers. Only a small portion is open to tourists, but thrill-seeking explorers often illegally venture into the closed sections. The catacombs are shrouded in legends. Rumor has it that ghosts wander the tunnels, and at night, voices of those whose remains lie in the darkness can be heard. One of the most chilling stories involves a man who got lost in the labyrinth in the 1990s. His camera was found years later, but he was never located. At first glance, it seems like an ordinary monastery, but descending below reveals one of the creepiest places in the world. The Capuchin catacombs in Palermo became the final resting place for more than 8,000 people. Unlike traditional cemeteries, the deceased were not simply buried here. They were embalmed and displayed in niches wearing the clothes they once wore in life. This tradition began in the 16th century when monks accidentally discovered that the bodies preserved naturally due to the underground's unique microclimate. The most famous mummy in the catacombs is that of a little girl, Rosalia Lombardo, who died in 1920. Her body is so well preserved that she appears to be merely sleeping. Some visitors claim her eyes occasionally open, sparking legends of a curse or mysterious phenomenon. Today, the Capuchin catacombs serve as a grim reminder of life's fleeting nature and the peculiar burial traditions of the past. In 1974, farmers near Xi'an accidentally discovered the underground mausoleum of China's first emperor. Guarding it is an army of terracotta warriors, thousands of unique statues created to accompany the ruler in the afterlife. The tomb itself remains unopened. According to legends, rivers of mercury flow inside, and the ceiling is adorned with precious stones depicting a starry sky. Studies have revealed high mercury levels in the soil, supporting these stories. Archaeologists fear that opening the tomb could destroy ancient artifacts, making it one of China's greatest unsolved mysteries. Hidden in Cappadocia lies one of the world's most mysterious underground cities, Derinkuyu. Carved into soft volcanic rock, it descends over 85 meters deep and could accommodate up to 20,000 people. The city featured living quarters, temples, wineries, schools, and even a ventilation system that allowed people to breathe underground. Derinkuyu served as a refuge during wars and raids, with tunnels that could be completely sealed off with massive stone doors. Historians believe its construction began with the Hittites, though early Christians later used it to escape persecution. For a long time, Derinkuyu remained unknown until 1963, when a resident accidentally broke through a wall in his home and discovered an entrance to the underground complex. Today, it stands as one of Turkey's most mystical sites, where every corridor holds traces of an ancient civilization. Beneath the small French village of Naours lies a vast underground city carved into limestone during the Middle Ages. It served as a refuge during wars and could hold up to 3,000 people. The complex included living quarters, stables, wells, and even chapels. During World War I, British soldiers occupied the catacombs, leaving hundreds of drawings and inscriptions on the walls. Today, Naours is one of the most enigmatic historical sites. Beneath the bustling streets of Naples lies an entire underground world, Napoli Subterranea. This labyrinth of tunnels, caves, and ancient cisterns dates back to ancient Rome, when tough stone was quarried here for construction. Over time, the underground passages transformed into aqueducts, wartime shelters, and even secret routes for smugglers. During World War II, city residents sought refuge here from bombings, and today, tourists visit the site daily. In one of the caves, archaeologists even discovered the remains of an ancient Greek theater where Nero himself is said to have performed. Napoli Subterranea is a living history of Naples, hidden right beneath its streets. Coober Pedy is the only city in the world where most residents live underground. This Australian town emerged in the early 20th century after the discovery of rich opal deposits. Due to the unbearable heat, miners began carving homes directly into the rocks, creating unique, subterranean dwellings. Over time, underground hotels, shops, churches, and even a bar appeared. Temperatures in these homes remain consistently comfortable without the need for air conditioning. Today, Coober Pedy attracts tourists with its otherworldly landscape and the atmosphere of a true underground city. The Odessa Catacomb Network is one of the most extensive in the world. These tunnels were formed after limestone extraction and stretch for hundreds of kilometers beneath the city. At various times, fugitives, revolutionaries, and partisans took refuge here, and some sections remain unexplored to this day. The catacombs are surrounded by mystical stories. Many say it's easy to get lost within them. Today, part of the labyrinth is open to tourists, but numerous areas remain a dark and mysterious part of underground Odessa. The abandoned town of Kryukovo is one of Moldova's most mysterious places. During the Soviet era, it housed a military base, and the settlement was built for soldiers and their families. However, after the USSR's collapse, the town was deserted, leaving behind ruined buildings, overgrown streets, and traces of past life. Today, Kryukovo attracts enthusiasts of abandoned places. Old houses, deserted barracks, and rusting equipment create an atmosphere of forgotten times. Some say certain buildings are still guarded, and strange sounds can be heard here at night. Solomia is a little-known abandoned village on Cyprus, hidden among the island's hills. Once bustling with life, it was gradually deserted and has since become a ghost town. Old stone houses, overgrown vineyards, and empty streets create the feeling that time has stopped here. Despite its desolation, Solomia has retained a distinct Mediterranean charm, and its landscapes attract photographers and explorers of abandoned places. Catacombs El Shokafa is an ancient catacomb complex in Alexandria, regarded as one of Egypt's most mysterious archaeological sites. Carved into rock in the 2nd century, it blends Egyptian, Roman, and Greek burial traditions. The catacombs descend 3 levels deep, with walls adorned with carvings depicting pharaohs alongside Roman gods. Archaeologists have found sarcophagi, amphorae, and even special niches for animal burials. The entrance remained hidden under sand for centuries until it was accidentally discovered in the early 20th century when a donkey fell into it. Today, Catacombs El Shokafa is open to tourists, but the labyrinth's atmosphere, where people were buried for centuries, still evokes a mix of awe and unease. The Sanford Laboratory is the largest underground research center in the United States, located at the site of a former gold mine in South Dakota. It extends nearly 1.5 kilometers underground, providing ideal conditions for studying dark matter, neutrinos, and other fundamental phenomena. The lab's unique depth shields it from cosmic radiation, allowing for ultra-sensitive measurements. Beyond scientific research, the laboratory actively runs educational programs to promote physics and attract new researchers. The Shanghai tunnels beneath Portland are among the city's darkest attractions. In the early 20th century, they connected underground bars, hotels, and storage facilities, but their sinister reputation is linked to the kidnapping of people for forced labor or maritime service. It is said that victims were drugged or intoxicated and then dropped into underground passages leading directly to ships. The tunnels were also used for alcohol smuggling during Prohibition. Today, they're open for tours, and local ghost legends only add to their eerie atmosphere. The underground city of Nushabad is a true ancient labyrinth hidden beneath the namesake town in Iran. Built over 1,500 years ago, it served as a refuge from enemies and the scorching desert heat. The 3-level network of tunnels connected homes, secret exits, and water reservoirs. Inside were living quarters, kitchens, and ventilation shafts, providing fresh air. Invading enemies often got lost in the complex corridors, allowing defenders to launch surprise attacks. Today, Nushabad is open to tourists, offering a unique chance to walk through the streets of an ancient underground city. The Vivos Company has built a massive underground complex near Barstow, California. This facility consists of numerous private bunkers designed for survival during global catastrophes. Each bunker is equipped with autonomous life support systems, including water, air, and food supplies, as well as generators and storage areas. The complex is intended for long-term stays and provides protection from natural disasters, wars, and technological emergencies. The project targets private owners who can purchase shelters to prepare for potential emergencies. The Bandiagara Escarpment is a 150-kilometer-long unique sandstone cliff in Mali, home to the Dogon people. Their cliffside dwellings resemble ancient fortresses, and their culture and traditions have remained unchanged for centuries. The site is listed as a UNESCO World Heritage Site for its unique architecture and the Dogon's rich mythology. However, due to regional instability, traveling there is not always safe. Vardzia is an ancient cave monastery carved into the cliffs of southern Georgia in the 12th century during Queen Tamar's reign. It is a vast underground city that once contained over 600 caves connected by tunnels, with churches, living quarters, and wine cellars. Originally, Vardzia served as a fortress and a refuge from enemy attacks. However, a major earthquake caused much of the complex to collapse. Today, it is an important historical landmark, attracting travelers with its unique architecture and atmosphere. Phugtal Gompa is one of the most remote monasteries in Ladakh, literally built into a cliff at an altitude of around 4,000 meters. Founded in the 12th century, it remains a secluded retreat for Buddhist monks. The only way to reach it is on foot, requiring several hours of trekking along mountain trails. The monastery features a unique cave prayer room, ancient frescoes, and a library with rare manuscripts. Despite its inaccessibility, it attracts spiritual seekers and travelers wishing to experience monastic life far from civilization. Poland's salt caves are true underground wonders, and one of them, Alka, holds a centuries-old history of salt mining. These caves were carved out by hand, with tunnels stretching for dozens of kilometers deep underground. Inside, the atmosphere is unique. The walls shimmer with salt crystals, and the air is rich in beneficial minerals. In the past, miners worked here extracting white gold, but today, the caves are used for tours and even therapeutic treatments. It's astonishing to find vast halls, chapels, and sculptures carved directly into the salty walls beneath the earth. Uplistsikhe is an ancient cave city carved directly into the rock and is one of Georgia's most unique archaeological sites. Located near Gori on the banks of the Kura River, it is considered one of the country's earliest urban centers, with a history spanning over 3,000 years. In ancient times, it was a significant religious and trade hub where people worshipped pagan gods. The site still preserves streets, temples, wine cellars, and even a theater. At its peak, the city housed up to 20,000 inhabitants. Today, it stands as one of Georgia's most mysterious places, where visitors can literally touch history and feel the spirit of an ancient civilization. Beneath the streets of Tokyo lies an extraordinary engineering marvel, the Kasukabe Giant Underground Discharge Channel. This is the world's largest flood protection system, often dubbed the Underground Cathedral due to its massive columns and monumental architecture. Construction took 13 years, with the project completed in 2006. The main reservoir, known as the Cathedral Hall, is a colossal underground space, measuring 177 meters long, 78 meters wide, and 18 meters high. Its enormous columns, each weighing 500 tons, create the impression of standing in an ancient temple. During heavy rains, the system channels water from rivers, preventing flooding in Tokyo and Saitama districts. On regular days, tours are held, offering a glimpse into this impressive subterranean world that seamlessly blends advanced technology with futuristic design. Réseau is the world's largest underground network, hidden beneath the streets of Montreal. This true city beneath a city stretches 32 kilometers, connecting office buildings, shopping centers, hotels, universities, and metro stations. The complex began in the 1960s, initially designed as protection against harsh Canadian winters. Today, it houses over 2,000 shops, restaurants, museums, and even concert halls. Montreal residents use Réseau to move comfortably around downtown in any weather. With over 120 entrances, the system serves around 500,000 people daily. It's not just a convenient shelter from the cold, but also a unique space that helps make Montreal one of the most futuristic cities in the world. Karizi Kish is an ancient underground canal system located on Kish Island in the Persian Gulf. This remarkable structure was built over 2,500 years ago and was used for collecting and purifying fresh water. The tunnels stretch 8 kilometers underground, reaching depths of up to 16 meters. Their walls are reinforced with fossilized corals and shells that are about 500 million years old. Today, this historic site has been transformed into a tourist attraction with museums, restaurants, and walking paths. Karizi Kish is one of the few places in the world where visitors can see how ancient technologies enabled survival in arid climates by providing the island with drinking water. Jordan Petra is the legendary ancient city carved directly into the rocks of southern Jordan. Founded over 2,000 years ago, it was a vital trading hub along caravan routes connecting Arabia, Egypt, and the Mediterranean. The entrance to the city leads through the narrow SIQ Gorge, which stretches 1.2 kilometers and ends with a breathtaking view of the Treasury, one of Petra's most recognizable structures. The city still preserves temples, amphitheaters, tombs, and water channels that enabled it to flourish in the desert. Over time, Petra was abandoned and lost for centuries until Swiss explorer Johann Burckhardt rediscovered it in 1812. Today, Petra is one of the new 7 wonders of the world and Jordan's top tourist attraction, drawing millions of visitors. Guanajuato is a colonial city in central Mexico, known for its narrow streets, colorful houses, and unique system of underground tunnels. Originally built as water drainage channels, these tunnels were converted into roads and pedestrian pathways after a major flood in the 19th century. Today, an approximately 8-kilometer-long network of tunnels stretches beneath the city, connecting its central districts. These underground corridors not only help relieve congestion on Guanajuato's narrow streets, but also give the city a mysterious atmosphere. Helsinki is one of the few cities in the world where much of its infrastructure is hidden underground. Carved into granite, there are over 400 facilities beneath the surface, including parking lots, shops, swimming pools, gyms, and even the Tempeliaukio underground church. The main reasons for this construction approach are the city's extreme climate and safety considerations. In the event of war or disasters, parts of the tunnel network can quickly transform into bomb shelters for hundreds of thousands of people. One of the most impressive features of underground Helsinki is the world's largest subterranean swimming pool, located 25 meters below ground. There are also underground streets and passages that allow comfortable movement throughout the city year-round. In Singapore, where every square meter is valuable, even scientific laboratories are built underground. One of the most ambitious projects is a massive underground complex, reaching depths of up to 150 meters. While its primary purpose is the storage of oil and gas, the facility is also used for scientific research. Singapore is actively developing underground infrastructure, including laboratories, transportation tunnels, and data centers, to make efficient use of the island's limited space. This project is part of a future-oriented strategy where megacities can expand downward, creating comfortable and functional subterranean spaces. The Ghost City Tianducheng is an ambitious Chinese project designed as a luxurious replica of Paris. Here you can find a 108-meter-high Eiffel Tower, boulevards resembling those of the French capital, and even a scaled-down version of the Versailles Garden. Construction began in the early 2000s with plans to accommodate 10,000 residents, but occupancy progressed slowly. At one point, Tianducheng became a ghost city, where empty streets and grand buildings created a surreal atmosphere. However, over time, people began moving in, and the city is gradually coming to life. It remains a popular spot for photo shoots and for tourists eager to see a slice of Paris in China. Hashima, also known as Battleship Island, is one of the world's most famous abandoned cities. In the early 20th century, it was a thriving coal mining center where thousands of miners and their families lived on just 6.3 hectares of land. By 1959, the island's population reached 5,259, making it one of the most densely populated places on Earth at the time. However, when the coal mines closed in 1974, Hashima was completely abandoned. Today, with its crumbling concrete buildings and eerie atmosphere, the island resembles a post-apocalyptic movie set. In 2015, Hashima was designated a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and guided tours now offer visitors a glimpse into its ghostly past. Once one of the Mediterranean's most elite resorts, Varosha was a hotspot for global celebrities in the 1970s. The city was bustling with luxury hotels, beaches, restaurants, and a population of up to 40,000 people. However, in 1974, following the Turkish invasion of Cyprus, the city was completely evacuated and closed to visitors. Since then, Varosha has remained an abandoned zone, off limits without special permission. For decades, it stood frozen in time, with nature gradually reclaiming its once luxurious buildings. In 2020, part of the city was reopened to visitors, but the future of this once paradisiacal place remains uncertain. Krakow is an ancient Italian town that has turned into a ghost city. Founded in the 8th century, it thrived until the mid-20th century, when frequent landslides and earthquakes forced residents to abandon it. Today, Krakow is a popular destination for tourists and filmmakers, drawing visitors with its mystical atmosphere and medieval ruins. Located in California, Body was once a bustling gold rush town. In the 1870s, it was home to about 10,000 people, with streets filled with saloons, banks, and hotels. However, as the gold supplies dwindled, the town was completely abandoned by the mid-20th century. Today, Bodie is an open-air museum where visitors can explore buildings frozen in time, their interiors appearing as if the residents left just a few hours ago. Pyramiden is an abandoned coal mining settlement in Norway, built by the Soviet Union. At its peak, around 1,000 people lived there, working in the mine and enduring the harsh conditions of permafrost. When coal mining ceased in 1998, the town was left deserted, with everything left in place: Soviet-era, apartment blocks, a cultural center, and even a bust of Lenin. Today, Pyramiden attracts tourists with its Soviet past, perfectly preserved in a town frozen in time. Namibia Kolmanskop was once a thriving town, built in the early 20th century during the Diamond Rush. It featured luxurious homes, a casino, a hospital, and even Africa's first X-ray machine. However, as diamond supplies dwindled, people began to leave, and by 1956, the town was completely abandoned. Today, Kolmanskop is a desert-claimed ghost town where sand slowly engulfs the buildings, creating unique post-apocalyptic landscapes. Founded in the 1940s around a blue asbestos mine, Wittenoom was once home to up to 20,000 people. Over time, it became clear that asbestos dust was deadly. Due to the high level of contamination, residents began to leave, and the town was officially closed in 2007. Today, Wittenoom is considered the most toxic town in Australia, with authorities actively demolishing remaining structures to erase it from the map. A city buried in ash Plymouth, the capital of Montserrat Island, was completely abandoned after a volcanic eruption in 1995. The city was covered in a thick layer of volcanic ash, with many buildings destroyed or half buried. Today, Plymouth is a unique ghost town, the only abandoned capital in the Caribbean. Entry is prohibited, but tourists can view it from a safe distance, where it appears frozen in time after the disaster. Centralia, Pennsylvania, looks like a post-apocalyptic movie set. In 1962, an abandoned coal mine beneath the town caught fire, and the blaze is still burning today. Roads are cracked with smoke billowing from the ground, while underground flames are expected to smolder for hundreds more years. Most residents have left, but a few refuse to abandon their homes. Today, Centralia is the real-life inspiration for the town in Silent Hill and a chilling reminder of nature's uncontrollable power. Makoko is a unique stilt village in Lagos, Nigeria, where tens of thousands of people live in homes built directly on the water. Instead of streets, there are canals navigated by boats. Despite poverty and a lack of infrastructure, Makoko is a vibrant and evolving community with schools, markets, and even floating churches. However, Lagos authorities do not officially recognize the village, leaving the future of this remarkable settlement uncertain. Perched on a rocky plateau 1,200 meters above sea level, Amedi in Iraqi Kurdistan is over 3,000 years old. It has been home to Assyrians, Persians, and Kurds. Once the site of a renowned school of sages, local legends even link the town to the journey of the three wise men to the infant Jesus. Thanks to its location, Amedi was an impregnable fortress. Today, it's a quiet and picturesque town, drawing travelers with its rich history, scenic views, and ancient gates that bear traces of various eras. Located in China's Yunnan province, is literally squeezed between mountains. In some places, the city is only 30 meters wide, with buildings seemingly wedged between steep slopes and the Nangxi River. Despite the tight space, about 40,000 people live here. Houses are built along the riverbank, with bridges connecting different parts of the city. Yanjin is a unique architectural phenomenon where people have adapted to extreme conditions. Whittier is a small town in Alaska where nearly the entire population lives in a single building. The Baggage Towers is more than just an apartment complex. It's a whole city under one roof, containing a school, post office, grocery store, and even a church. During winter, the town is nearly inaccessible due to snowstorms, while in summer, it transforms into a port hub for tourists. Despite its isolation, Whittier remains one of the most unusual towns in America. Santa Cruz del Islote is a tiny island off the coast of Colombia, remarkable for its population density. On just 0.012 square kilometers live about 1,200 people, making it one of the most densely populated places in the world. There are no cars, and the streets are narrow pathways between houses. With limited access to fresh water and natural resources, residents rely heavily on supplies from the mainland. Despite challenging conditions, the community leads a peaceful life, preserving traditions and a strong sense of unity. Euskar is a small village in Spain that became famous for its blue houses. In 2011, it was painted entirely blue to promote the Smurfs movie. Initially intended as a temporary measure, the colorful appearance became so popular with tourists that locals decided to keep it. Today, Euskar is known as the Smurf Village, attracting visitors from around the world. Travelers can find murals of the cartoon characters, souvenir shops, and Smurf statues, creating a whimsical, fairy tale atmosphere. Dudleytown, located in Connecticut, is known as the Cursed Village. In the 19th century, residents began to abandon the town en masse, sparking legends of unexplained phenomena, disappearances, and strange visions. Some believe the village is cursed due to the dark past of the Dudley family, while others attribute the stories to hallucinogenic mushrooms that once grew in the area. Today, only abandoned ruins remain in the dense forest. The site draws mystery enthusiasts, but authorities prohibit entry due to frequent vandalism. Rennes-le-Château is a tiny village in southern France that has become legendary for its mysteries and mystical theories. In the late 19th century, local priest Béranger Saunière suddenly acquired great wealth, which he used to build unusual structures and renovate the village church. Since then, rumors have circulated about hidden treasures, Templar secrets, and even the Holy Grail. These stories attract thousands of tourists eager to solve the centuries-old mystery surrounding this enigmatic place. Mima is a small city in Japan known for its mysterious Kofun burial mounds, which are over 1,500 years old. Created by ancient civilizations, it remains unclear who was buried within them. Besides its historical heritage, Mima is celebrated for its picturesque landscapes, traditional Japanese architecture, and peaceful ambiance. It's an ideal destination for those seeking to immerse themselves in history and experience the spirit of ancient Japan. Halley 6 is a British Antarctic research station located on the floating Brunt ice shelf. It is famous for its unique mobile design. Its modules are mounted on giant skis, allowing the station to be relocated across the ice. Scientists at Halley 6 study climate change, the ozone layer, and Antarctic weather patterns. The station operates under extreme conditions, with winter temperatures plunging to -55 degrees Celsius. Halley 6 is not just a base, but a cutting-edge scientific outpost in one of the harshest environments on Earth. This unique man-made island near Vancouver was built by two artists, Wayne Adams and Catherine King. They began construction in 1992, and since then, it has evolved into a self-sustaining floating complex. The island includes gardens, greenhouses, living quarters, and even a dance floor. Energy is generated through solar panels, and water is collected from rainwater reservoirs. Shibam is an ancient city in Yemen, famous for its clay skyscrapers built over 500 years ago. Some buildings reach heights of 30 meters, making it one of the world's earliest examples of vertical urban planning. The city was designed to protect residents from Bedouin raids and river floods. Today, Shibam is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, but remains at risk of destruction due to war and natural disasters. Floating Homes of Vancouver is known not only for its skyscrapers, but also for its unique floating homes that gently sway in the harbor. Built on pontoon platforms, these homes are fully equipped with electricity, plumbing, and cozy terraces offering ocean views. This type of housing is popular among those seeking a closer connection to nature while remaining within the city. However, homeowners must consider tides, weather conditions, and high mooring taxes. The perfect home for those not afraid of heights. China's Shaanxi province is known for its yaodong, traditional cave dwellings carved directly into cliffs. These homes stay cool in summer and warm in winter, making them ideal for the region's harsh climate. Some yaodong have been used for over 4,000 years, and many are still inhabited today. Beyond yaodong, Shaanxi is famous for the hanging monastery of Xuankongxi and the ancient city of Pingyao, which has preserved its Ming Dynasty-era appearance. Slab City in California is a unique desert settlement with no laws, taxes, or public utilities. It emerged on the site of an abandoned military base, taking its name from the concrete slabs left from former barracks. Wanderers, artists, and free-spirited individuals live here, creating art installations and homes from scrap metal and debris. One of Slab City's main attractions is Salvation Mountain, a vibrant installation covered in biblical messages and colorful paint. Imagine descending underground and finding yourself not in a gloomy bunker, but in a real secret lair straight out of a movie. Inspired by the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, one man built an underground hideout that looks cooler than anything in the films. Behind a hidden door lie cozy rooms, futuristic corridors, and stylish relaxation zones. Everywhere are nods to pop culture, shelves filled with retro comics, posters, and gadget-packed rooms. This isn't just a basement, it's a geek's dream come true. In the California desert stands the Invisible House. Entirely covered with mirrored panels, by day, it blends seamlessly into the landscape, while at night, it transforms into a shining futuristic structure. Stretching 55 meters, the house features panoramic windows, minimalist design, and a full-length swimming pool. From the outside, you see peeling walls, old boards, and the impression that the house is about to collapse. But step inside, and you enter a different world. Luxurious design, smart technologies, modern furniture, and lighting create a cozy, futuristic atmosphere. It's the perfect contrast between exterior ruggedness and interior sophistication. In Shanghai stands an unusual pyramid-shaped house that immediately catches the eye with its unconventional architecture. Inside are spacious halls, contemporary design, and carefully planned technologies. This bold experiment combines elements of ancient architectural styles with modern engineering solutions. In Peru, high above the ground on a sheer cliff, transparent capsule lodges hang precariously. They're designed for extreme travelers willing to spend a night at an altitude of 400 meters. Reaching them requires climbing steep trails or scaling rock faces. Inside, the minimalist setup includes a bed, a small table, and a panoramic view of the valley. This unique accommodation is perfect for those seeking true freedom and an adrenaline rush. From the outside, this house built directly into a cave seems unremarkable. But step inside, and everything changes. Luxurious interiors, exquisite furniture, and carefully designed lighting create the impression of an upscale mansion. The house is 700 years old, while the rock sheltering it dates back approximately 2.5 million years. It's a stunning blend of nature and human craftsmanship, transforming stone walls into a cozy and elegant home. On the outside, it's just a simple wooden cabin in the wilderness, but open the door and you'll find something entirely different. A large modern kitchen, a cozy bedroom, and spacious rooms that radiate warmth and tranquility. This house is the perfect retreat from city life, offering the chance to immerse yourself in nature without sacrificing comfort. Would you spend a few peaceful days here? Living on a floating home means freedom, solitude, and a close connection to nature. Inside, these houses often impress with stylish interiors, spacious bedrooms, and cozy living areas. But the romance of life on the water comes with challenges: dependence on weather, communication hurdles, and costly maintenance. Still, there's nothing like starting each morning with an endless view and the feeling that your home is a tiny island of serenity. On the Drina River in Serbia stands a tiny house built on a miniature rock. It looks incredibly fragile, yet it has withstood strong currents and harsh weather for decades. This secluded spot captivates travelers with its uniqueness. It seems as though the house defies the very laws of nature. On Ireland's southern coast, amidst raging waves, stands a solitary house perched on a cliff. Getting there is a challenge in itself, but that's what makes it the perfect hideaway. Far from civilization and surrounded by the ocean, it seems tailor-made for those seeking to escape the world. And in the event of a zombie apocalypse, it might just be the ultimate refuge. Living in a clock tower is like being inside a giant timepiece. This luxurious 3-story penthouse offers panoramic views through massive 4-meter-tall clock faces. Built in 1914, the building now boasts modern design and exceptional comfort. The best part? No need to buy a wall clock. This house in an open field can rotate on its axis. Want to watch the sunrise from one side and the sunset from the other? No problem. However, living here might be a challenge for those with balance issues. In South Korea's South Gyeongsang province lies a unique village with purple rooftops. Everything, from houses to bridges and street lamps, is painted in lavender hues, creating a magical atmosphere that attracts tourists from far and wide. In the forests of Wisconsin, an old airplane has been transformed into a unique home. Inside, you'll find a cozy atmosphere, modern interior design, and stunning views of the surrounding nature. It's the perfect place for those dreaming of an unusual getaway. The Three Fingers House in the USA is a truly unique structure perched on the edge of a cliff. Its bold design is impressive, while the panoramic views are breathtaking. Inside, the stylish and thoughtfully arranged interior creates a sense of warmth and comfort, even in such an extreme location. The Bird Box mini homes are compact, mobile dwellings that can be easily set up almost anywhere. Despite their modest size, every detail is carefully designed. Cozy sleeping spaces, sleek minimalist decor, and incredible views from the windows. They offer a perfect escape from the hustle and bustle, allowing you to live closer to nature. This house, suspended among the trees, looks like a real flying saucer. Secluded and surrounded by dense forest, it appears to float in midair. Inside, you'll find minimalist design, comfortable relaxation areas, and a feeling of complete detachment from civilization. An ideal retreat for those who dream of hiding away in a sci-fi inspired setting. This modern igloo is a cozy haven that's a world apart from traditional snow igloos. Inside, you'll find heated floors, stylish decor, and comfortable lounging areas. Panoramic windows offer breathtaking views of the surrounding landscape, providing a warm and inviting atmosphere where the cold outside is never a concern. Recognize which cartoon this structure is from? Impressive, isn't it? How do you make a house on the water unforgettable? Build it in the shape of a swan. It took several months to bring this idea to life, but the result was clearly worth it. At an altitude of 7,000 meters on Mount Elbrus, there are structures resembling a polar station. These unique shelters often serve as temporary homes for climbers and researchers. Supplies are delivered by helicopter, making life at such heights quite challenging. However, the breathtaking views from these stations are well worth the effort despite the harsh conditions. This unique underwater hotel lets you enjoy ocean views right from your bedroom. Transparent glass walls provide a stunning view of the underwater world, complete with fish and corals. It's the perfect place for those dreaming of an extraordinary vacation surrounded by the beauty of the ocean, all from the comfort of their room. A cliff-hanging hotel for true thrill seekers. Perched at an incredible height, it offers breathtaking views and a one-of-a-kind experience. It's the perfect place that's guaranteed to take your breath away. This hotel with cocoon-like rooms suspended 6 meters above the ground immerses guests in an atmosphere of seclusion and nature. Each cocoon is a cozy, fully equipped room designed for comfortable living. Nestled in the forest, it's the ideal retreat for those seeking solitude in nature without sacrificing modern comforts. A structure in the forest with mirrored walls is a true masterpiece of camouflage. Thanks to its reflective surfaces, it's almost invisible among the trees, creating an impressive invisibility effect. A man in Guangzhou transformed his 18th floor penthouse into a true oasis. What started as a garden project soon expanded into 2 additional floors. The result is a stunning structure with lush greenery and breathtaking views. Casa do Penedo is a small house in northern Portugal, literally carved out of stone. Built in the 1970s, it draws attention with its unusual appearance. It seems to have grown straight from the rock, giving it a unique atmosphere and an air of mystery. The Hobbit Village in New Zealand is a real village built for the filming of the Hobbit movies. Located in the picturesque Hobbiton Valley, it attracts countless tourists. Visitors can stroll along winding paths, see the iconic round doors and roofs, and even visit Bilbo Baggins' home. The village looks as if it's truly inhabited by little folk, immersing you in the magical world of Middle-earth. In a Belgian village stands a water tower built in 1938 that no longer serves its original purpose. It has been transformed into a unique residential apartment with panoramic views. From the upper floors, you can enjoy incredible scenery, while the interior boasts a stylish and modern design. In Trassenheide stands an unusual upside-down house that literally flips the concept of living spaces. With optical illusions everywhere, everything inside is inverted. The house has become a tourist attraction, offering visitors a unique opportunity to see the world from an entirely different perspective. This old school bus stands on a platform accessed by a staircase. It has been given a second life as a shelter and local attraction that leaves no one indifferent. Just imagine a hidden underground world that conceals an entire modern city. Far from the outside world, you can find familiar homes, shops, and even restaurants. It's a unique corner of civilization where technology and comfort are always with you. Would you like to live in such a city?